Now that you have selected your campaign settings, the next step in the process is to set up your ad groups. And as it says here, an ad group contains one or more ads and a set of related keywords. So for best results, try to focus all of the ads and keywords in an ad group on one product or service. So you can see that by default here we have ad group 1. And what we want to do here is put in about 10 or 20 keywords for one product that we want to promote. Then if we have a separate product, then we can set up a separate ad group with a separate set of keywords for that as well. Now in this example, I'll just set up one ad group, but it'll be the same process that you can set up for each product that you want to set up. And just remember that the campaign settings you've set up in terms of location, language, when it's delivered will be applied to both ad groups. So just keep that in mind. And if you want a different set of campaign settings, you should set up a separate campaign. So what we really need to do, and the big piece of work in this step in the process, is to add in about 10 or 20 keywords. Now, really, this is where we decide what are the terms that we want to appear in the search results for our ads. And this is an important part of the process because this will really determine the success of your campaign. So I'll show you a couple of things to really reduce the cost of your campaigns and pick the right keywords. So the first thing to think about is like what is the intent of the searcher when they type in this word. So something like digital marketing course, if that's what I'm selling, well obviously that person really wants to buy a digital marketing course, and so that would be a great keyword for me to include in my campaign. Now, I could also put in something like, what is digital marketing? That could be a keyword phrase that I could get my ad to appear for. The thing is though, if somebody's typing in what is digital marketing, you can see there's no ads on that, and that's for a reason. These people who type in what is digital marketing are much further up the sales funnel. They're not even really aware of what it is. Whereas someone who types in digital marketing course online, their intent to buy is much, much closer. They're much further down that sales funnel and they're really ready to buy. They're just searching for a course to buy. So when you think about your keywords, just remember, where are they in that sales funnel? Are they just becoming aware of this? And you should really avoid keywords like that. Or are they really ready to buy and you want to try and use keywords like that when you're setting up your ad group? So just keeping in mind, where are they in the sales funnel? That's an important consideration when you're picking your keywords. Now, how can you come up with more keyword ideas? Well, one thing to do is just to brainstorm a little bit yourself. So I could say digital marketing training. It's kind of a similar thing. Digital marketing class. Marketing class. So these are all terms that they might be typing in. Now, if I want to get a few more ideas, what I can do is also come over here to get keyword ideas. So I can just take one of these and paste these in here. And now AdWords is going to give me a couple of ideas, and I can really scroll down through these and have a look at these as well. Now, once again, I can maybe just pop that into Google, just check it out. Are these really the type of, do I want to compete with these guys? Have they got a very similar product? Or maybe I should really be focusing on something like, an online social media marketing course, something like that would probably be more appropriate for something like I'm doing. So you want to be quite careful in terms of these keywords and get them as accurate as possible. Now, if you want to get more keyword ideas, what you can do is come to the keyword planner tool. This is a tool within AdWords that will help get you more keyword ideas. So if we, for example, just take one of the main keywords here, paste this in, we could adjust that if we wanted to. So we could say the location, the language, etc. if we wanted to narrow that down. So I'm just looking globally here, but if I wanted to look in terms of just say the US, we can pop this in. And you should really match this up with the location you've set in your campaign. So let's see if we can get some ideas here. Now, if we look down, we've got some of the same kind of keywords, digital marketing certification. And the interesting thing about this tool is now we can start to see the suggested bid. So we can see like what is the suggested bid if we want it to appear in the search results for these campaigns. Now, I will say that this is quite a competitive keyword. Normally, there would be courses that could be $2,000 that people are selling offline in colleges, universities, etc. That's why these suggested bids are very high. So don't be put off by this. Probably for your product, the suggested bid is going to be a lot lower. But here's some other ones. Learn digital marketing. This is maybe a good term that I can use, and I can actually just add this in across here. Best digital marketing courses, digital media courses. Could be interesting just to add to the list and check it out. So as you go down through, just keep in mind the searcher's intent is what, again, would this be someone really looking to buy a digital marketing training or course? And just think about that as you go through and look at these different keywords. Now what you can do is actually copy all these to a clipboard then once you're happy, and then you can add these in again. Okay, so some other ideas. How can you get some more keyword ideas? Well, you can come and use this tool, SpyFu. And what you really want to do is maybe come to, take one of your terms again, just paste that into the search results. And what you want to do is just take the URL of a competitor and we can paste that in. We can come to their paid keywords. And we can just get a couple of ideas here again. Digital marketing certification. We can see the cost per click there as well. Curriculum development. So that's kind of an interesting keyword. If we take that, pop that into Google, I'm not really sure what that is. So that definitely doesn't seem to be relevant. So I wouldn't want to include that in my campaign. But digital marketing certification is definitely one if I haven't got that there already. So you can see that you can pick up new ideas in a couple of different ways just by thinking of them yourself, searching in Google, using this suggestion tool here, using the Google Keyword Planner, and using SpyFu as well. So what you want to do is really build up a list of 10 to 20 keywords. Now, once you've got your keyword list built up, there is one other thing that you should really have a look at before you go ahead and click save and continue, and that is match types. So you can see here, broad match, phrase match, exact match, and these are an important part of setting up your ad group because these match types really help control which searches can trigger your ads. So if you put a little bit of thought into this, you can really reduce the costs of your ads. Now, if you just type them in like this, by default, these will be all broad match. So if we open this up, we can actually see here that broad match is the default match type for all of your keywords. And ads may be shown on searches that include misspellings, synonyms, related searches, or other variations. So if your keyword is women's hat, someone searching for buy ladies hat might see your ad. So this sounds great, but what it really means is that if you leave it like this, digital marketing course online, it could be shown to people who are searching for much broader search terms than that. And that's not really what you want. To reduce the cost of your campaigns, you want to try and trigger the ads only when you have these search terms or very closely related search terms. So what I have here is an image which I think helps explain this different match type a little bit better. So here's a couple of examples. This broad match, if you typed in something like formal shoes, then it would also match to formal footwear, evening footwear, men's dress wingtips. So it's pretty broad. Now, if you do one layer down, it's called a modified broad match. So if you put formal plus shoes, then that would match to evening shoes, black dress shoes, etc. So I want to show you how this works. If I put in, and we'll just stick with the same example to keep it simple. if I put in formal shoes, just like it is here, this is the broad match. So this could appear for a lot of different terms that are broadly related to this. Now, obviously, that's not going to be great for us because that means our ads could be triggered for a lot of different search terms where their intent might not be to buy shoes, but they're just checking them out or whatever. So what you can do then, one level down, is put in formal shoes. So what if we put this little plus symbol in here, it means our ad will only show up if the search term includes the word shoes, but it could be a little bit broader. So it could appear for things like evening shoes, black dress shoes, etc. So it must include that shoes, but this first word can be broadly related. Now, what you can do even further down is put a star symbol or plus symbol in front of both words. So it would really have to contain formal and shoes in the search that they're appearing for, but it could appear words before or after, like formal shoes, formal evening shoes, formal shoes comfortable, things like that. Now, if you want to get even more specific and trigger your ads only on a very specific search term, then you can use a phrase. So what we can do then is we could say keep the formal shoes, but we can remove these plus signs, and then we can put in the parentheses here. So this phrase would have to appear in the search that they're typing into Google, formal shoes. Now, there could be a word before or there could be a word after, but this phrase would have to be in this order. So it could be best formal shoes or formal shoes comfortable, whereas in this one above, where it's the modified broad, these words could be appearing before or after, or there could be words in between these, like formal white shoes, whereas here it'd have to be white formal shoes. So hopefully that explains the difference between those. And then the most narrowest type of match that you could have is just to put these two brackets around it. So what that would mean is that the ad would only be triggered when that exact phrase is typed into Google and no other words before, after, in between, anything. So that is the exact match type. So you can really set these by putting these little symbols in or before. And the key thing that you want to do is not just leave it on a broad match, because that will trigger your ads for a lot of broadly related keywords. And the purpose of really building up this keyword list and thinking about it is that you have really narrowed down the list of keywords for your ads that are going to be triggered. So what I would suggest you do is really focus on getting a pretty tight key list, and then you can just add the modified broad search on top of that. So what you're saying here is if you add these in, that in the search term, all of these words must appear. Now they could be in different orders, and there could be extra words before or after, but all of these words must appear in the search term. And so that's what I'd recommend. When you've decided your keyword list, just add the plus symbol in front of them so that those words have to be included in the search in order to trigger your ads. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill the rest of these out. Once you're done, then you can just go ahead and click save and continue. And that really finishes up the second step in the process, setting up your ad groups.